Eagles Nation, Eagles Galaxy, Universe, all that good stuff. So, a lot of things to talk about, but I'm gonna just put it to you like this: real serious. That was embarrassing. That was garbage, and we cannot continue to see that type of thing throughout the season. We got 3 games left. You either score early, take your foot off the gas, and say, "Oh, we score. We're gonna stop everybody," or you decide not to play the whole first half and then try to win in the second half. I've said this on other shows. I've got the receipts where I said this before the Seahawks game. If you don't come out and you don't play your best game, you don't put the offense with the defense and go out there and attempt to win the game from play 1 through the last play, you're not going to beat the Seahawks. And we didn't, and we know what happened. But it runs a lot deeper than just that. So before I get on my soapbox, because boy, it's prepared, let me go ahead and get my peoples in here. What up, Wyatt?
Man, not too much. A lot has happened within the past week since we've done the show, and there's going to be a lot to discuss tonight. Not just the game, but as far as the organization itself, there's a lot going on, some turmoil possibly.
Oh, Diva, what it do?
Not happy at all. But what's going on, Nation?
If you were, I'd be upset with you. So Benny Boom says, feeling frustrated with the front office and the coaching staff on how much they're not doing what's best for this team.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my brother, testify. But before we allow them to take us off the rails today, because I promised my co-host that I would not allow us to get too much off the beaten path today. We going off. Believe that, but not yet. So Wyatt, any updates that you got for us this week?
Yeah, I mean, we had a decent bit of updates since the last time we talked on here. Starting at the very beginning, one of the first bits of news before he even played the game and all that was Darius Slay was getting arthroscopic surgery on his knee, which just so happened to happen before the game where the next breaking news, where Matt Patricia is officially our DC, our defensive coordinator now, maybe without the title. I don't know. I guess Sean Desai is still technically the DC, but he's not the one calling the plays on the sideline, as everybody knows. We saw Matt Patricia out there on the sideline with the pencil in his ear and everything. So, I mean, it's just so weird that Slay ends up getting the surgery now, and then this happens, and then he's gone. And then, I mean, this was an opportunity for us to see a lot of the young guys on the team, like you've been talking about over the past couple of weeks. But it's just a weird timing, because he's been kind of dealing with it and he's been able to practice and such and play with it. So it's just weird that he decided to do it now.
Got a comment. Philly says feeling frustrated, but go Birds. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just to bring some clarity to the situation. So from what I've been reading and understand, Matt Patricia is calling plays, but Sean Desai still has input, and he's still the DC.
He's up in the booth.
My opinion on the situation is Sean Desai is being made out as a scapegoat. He's not the scapegoat. The defense did not look any better this week. We did get a chance to see some other guys play, but as Eagle Diva likes to always call him, Ballberry shrunk when the light was on him, and we lost. But no, I can't hold it no more. I was gonna try to go through the stuff, but we got to at least talk about one thing now. Then we can go back, and then we can come back later. So I listened to Nikki Tight Pants Sirianni conference today.
It's getting harder and harder to listen to.
Yeah.
So two important things I want to bring up from that said press conference. Nick Sirianni was asked, why was there a change made on the defensive side of the ball and nothing made on the offensive side of the ball? You know what his response was? Make no mistake about it. The offense that's being called is my offense. Brian Johnson is calling my offense, and I feel like everything's going fine with it, basically.
Said it was the same offense as last year, too.
Boy, bye.
He did, and that's a lie.
Yeah,
lie to test
that
determined
offense left
that
was
was
spiky.
completely a bald-faced lie.
Yeah.
He was also asked about his what are we going to do to improve the next 3 weeks. So he got defensive with the reporter, got a little nasty. So the reporter said, okay, what are we going to do to fix this week? Same old cliche crap answers. So what I really want to say from this, from my perspective, and if you guys want to answer, which I'm sure you do, feel free to do so. So we're not doing anything about this garbage, trash juice, whatever else other words you want to add, offense. This putrid cold play calling that you're doing with Brian Johnson is basically what you said today. And you also said, if we want to blame anybody for the offense, blame you. I've been blaming you. I didn't need your permission. I know what kind of trash you put out there. I know what kind of garbage plays you do, and that's what I see. So I noticed this was you. I've been saying on this very show and other places, this is you. This has silly Sirianni, year one roll all over it. So I'm not surprised. But don't sit up there and tell the reporters, people watching this lie, that this is the offense that we had last year. We had motion last year. We had run plays last year. We used multiple formations last year. None of those things are happening this year. You, sir, are a liar. You are full of crap. And you are a son of a biscuit eater. And I do not like what you're doing to my team. And I do not like you. You are very piss poor at picking coordinators because you won't go out and get guys and let them do their job. You want to have your hand in everything, but you don't need your hand in anything. Because you, sir, look like an idiot to me, like you did when you first got here, talking about rock, paper, scissors shows you who's serious to play and who's not. I haven't forgot. I have not forgot. I have never praised you. I've said the coordinators look good. I've never praised you because I remember who you are. And I knew that after the first few weeks, we were running your offense and we were going to be back to this crap. So congratulations for taking a team that has a whole bunch of talent and making it look terrible. And if you're back next year as the coach, if we don't somehow turn this around and win a Super Bowl, and you're back, not get there, but win a Super Bowl, and you're still the coach next year, it's time for Jeffrey Lurie to look above you and start cleaning the house from there down. That's my opinion. I am sick of you, Nick Sirianni. I am sick of the, we just got to get better. We got to execute better. No, you have to grow a brain and you can't. So you either step back and let other people do their job, or you're going to continue to have us crash and burn. That's whether we win or lose. We're going to look bad. And this type of play does not work in the playoffs. You say you want a Super Bowl, whatever.
Yeah, if they really wanted to be realistic and get a Super Bowl, then they would find a way to fix this. This has been the same offense for 14 weeks now. And they've been asking questions about it every single week. And it's being even more scrutinized now because you're losing. The media is coming at you. You have Christian McCaffrey, Peyton Manning, Eli Manning predicting plays before they even happen because of how predictable offense is on Monday Night Football. And it's just, we've been doing this all season. And we talk about it every week, how even us all sitting on the couch are predicting these exact plays before they even happen. It's just bland and mediocre offense. It's very vanilla. You're not scheming guys open at all. There's no motion. There's no creativity to any of it. This is like what you said. It's this exact same offense we were running in 2021. And it looks like we're getting the same Jalen Hurts from 2021. Because they're not giving him any other options. Like, it seems like he only has one or two reads on each route, and that's it. They're not giving him the ability to throw to anybody else because nobody else is open. The rest of their route is done because they're expecting to go to this guy, or maybe not even the second guy. They're just looking at one person only, as we saw from the AJ Brown, which is a whole nother thing because he came out in the press conference saying that their whole goal of throwing AJ Brown there at the end was to draw the flag. So you're relying on the refs to help win this game for you when you could have been doing this yourself. You could have got 15, 20 more yards. You had 2 timeouts, have Jake kick the field goal, go to overtime. But even then, you got to trust this offense to even go out here and try to score again, or the defense to try to stop the Seahawks again going down the field. But either way, I mean, I'm not going to dive into like how bad the defense was, because to me, I think the defense for the most part, at least the secondary, was flying around a little bit more. They had a little bit more juice than we've seen with a lot of these young guys. I'm not putting this game solely on the defense because this offense had plenty of opportunities to capitalize and score points. We could have easily been up like 21-3 at one point, and we just weren't able to do it. I mean, you had the Jason Kelsey like penalty, like the offsides or whatever, if you want to even call it that, which ruined the whole drive. But you had two or three other opportunities after that to capitalize, and you just weren't able to do it. It seemed like we had some sort of rhythm for like those first two drives. We were able to move the ball, and then you just get stuck into one or two of these same plays that you keep calling that just aren't working week after week after week. And then you just get stuck in bad situations. And that's what we've been saying all season. It's terrible situational football. Even when you're able to find the way to move down the field, you start having red zone troubles. We were fine for like 3 or 4 weeks, and now we're right back into the issue of not only can we not move the ball, but when we can move the ball, we can't even score unless we're, doing the brotherly shove. That's the only way we can score is if we're able to get it down to like the 1 or 2 yard line, and then where we kick a field goal. It's like, I understand you trying to fix the defense by putting Matt Patricia in there, but you are scapegoating Sean Desai. You had a report coming out about that Sean Desai was their last choice because of Gannon, because he waited so long and everything. They weren't able to interview any defensive coordinators up until that point. Sean Desai was the last one available, and they were saying like Howie Roseman like leaked this information to kind of put it out there. Like that's the excuse for how bad the defense looks is because he was our last choice this whole time. And it's like, it's not a good look on a situation on an organizational level from the top to the bottom. Like, and
That's
then you have
garbage
players.
juice.
It is, and I mean
That's
you have
literally
players
garbage juice
out here like criticizing, saying that we're not fully bought in. Jalen Hurts, who never says anything in these press conferences, are saying that not everybody's buying into the offense, not everybody's committed, and then he just didn't want to, go in any further on that of what that meant. And then you have AJ saying that they can only control what they can control whether they like it or not. So obviously, you're losing the players in the locker room at this point because you are not changing the game plan. They know what you were trying to do is not working, and yet you still try to force the same thing every single week. I just don't understand it. And then you come out and give the same BS answers. And then you're going to come out against the Giants on Christmas Day and do the same offense. Watch it happen. It's going to be the same exact thing. No changes.
So Rod says, what's up? F. Brian Johnson and Dangleberry. # happy home. # Barry Bonds. So Rod's wife is an Eagles fan. So, she's not been happy the last few weeks, I'm sure. Rod, out of the mouth of Nick Silly Sirianni himself, he said, if you have issues with the offense, what we're running on offense, don't blame Brian Johnson. Blame me. This is my offense, not Brian Johnson's offense. So anybody, any type of aggression you have, anger you have towards Brian Johnson, shift all of that over to where it belongs. Our idiot head coach. The guy who thinks he knows everything and knows nothing.
What's the point of having an offensive coordinator?
He's calling the plays from Nick's playbook. So he can only call the plays from Nick's playbook. So Nick gives him plays, and this is all you can call.
And Nick only has 6 plays, y'all. Literally.
Yeah.
So why
he gets them from Madden?
It's Nick's plays.
And they come from Madden. Seriously.
Yeah.
Like, not even playing.
If you have an offensive coordinator, they should be the one help develop the playbook. This shouldn't be just Sirianni's offense. You should have the offensive coordinator actually coordinate.
But that's why it sucks. That's why the offense sucks.
But that's why he didn't go get one.
Yeah.
Right.
Because he wanted to run.
Yes, man. Exactly.
What happened to Penny? Rod also
we don't know.
You know what? We know what happened to Penny.
That would have been the perfect game to bring him back against his former squad.
He's not going to play, Wyatt. He's not playing anymore this year.
He's not gonna
I don't even know why he's on the team. He's not going to play anymore this year. They don't care about him. They don't want him on the team.
Unless somebody gets hurt. Even then,
they still won't play him. He'll be on the roster, but they won't play him.
Right.
They'll put daggone Grant Calcaterra running back before they will Rashard Penny. So Benny says a lot of us fans are thinking about standing outside the NovaCare complex of sign, telling Lori to clean house. We pay good money to watch our team, and we're not getting what we pay for. Hey, if I was there, I'd be out there with you in the middle with a loud device, a bullhorn. Yeah, I'm so mad. I couldn't even think of it. Yeah, bullhorn. All right.
Sure is. He need to be.
And then Rod says Nick is about to be on LinkedIn. Ain't nobody gonna hire him.
True colors are starting to show.
You're gonna have to go back to being an OC that don't call plays because your play calling is super duper trash. And that's what you're supposed to be known for.
Made him look real good.
What's up, Vicola?
What's going on, Vicola?
But yeah. So Diva, go ahead with yours, and then we're gonna move on. But we're gonna really dig into the state of the Eagles here a little bit later on. We got a whole segment just for that.
Listen, I'm not talking about y'all's coach. That's y'all's coach. I don't got nothing to say about that dude because he is foolish. He's stupid. All he knows is X and O's, and all he knows is how to look at Madden and call them plays because that's all he know how to do. I don't even want to talk about that because I'm going to the next topic. That's y'all's coach.
And
That ain't my
this
coach. That's
and the
y'all's coach.
sad, the sad thing is about all this. If you go to Madden and look, they got a whole plethora of plays. Why he only pick out 6 of them?
Yeah,
Because he's stupid.
That's what I don't even understand. Like, if you're gonna use it, do it. All right.
got
So
6
one of the
of them, and
positive
like
things.
3 of them are different screens.
So, so one of the positive things that will be discussed: the elite performance of the game. Who y'all got for elite performance? Diva, we'll stick with you for this one first.
I'm gonna go with Keely Ringo. My boy played hard. He played out. He let no yards against him. He ain't let no tail out, no touchdowns. I'm gonna go with Keely.
That's a good pick.
All right, Wyatt, what about you?
I'm gonna go with DeAndre Swift because we actually used him. He got 18 carries, he had 74 yards, and we still didn't use him enough. But dude was out here hustling, and he was doing exactly what he should have been doing all season long.
So I got 2 people, and I got to go with both of them. So I'm gonna go with Sidney Brown and Eli Ricks, because with Sidney, the way that Sidney Brown was used this week is what I have been saying since we drafted him in the offseason, through the preseason, and through the season. Is how he needs to be used. Play him at cornerback some, play him at safety some. When you're playing him at safety, let me give y'all a hint. Hopefully y'all watch this and maybe you listen to this. Kevin Byard can play linebacker. So if we put Kevin Byard at linebacker and put Reed Blankenship and Sidney Brown out there to safeties, that's a much better configuration than the other crap that we're putting out there at linebacker. And then you put them out there with Shaq Leonard, that's a good foursome.
Mm-hmm.
That's some solid play.
But you
I
notice
just
the
didn't like
difference.
seeing Reddick being dropped back in coverage. That's when they started hitting on us.
The difference is Patricia put him on the outside. The side had him on the inside.
But he put Ricks on. Yeah, he put Ricks on that. So that's one good move that he made. But other than that, what more did Patricia really do
to the defense? Like I think it looked a little better. Just
and then you got to remember this though. Right, I was about to say, but you got to remember this. We don't have Darius Slay. So Darius Slay is a great technique guy, but at this point in his career, he's not fast. So we had guys running all over the field, giving up their bodies and not saying, "Man, I ain't worried about that. I'm trying to play my kid when I get old." You ain't had him out there. So you got to remember that. So that's part of it because he's not there. So you're able to do this. I've been saying all along my expectation was Ringo and Ricks would get time to play behind these guys so that those guys with their advanced age could be a little bit fresher in key moments. But we didn't do that. Yeah. Was it a Desai thing? I don't think that was a Desai thing. I think these 2 guys are getting paid a lot of money. They're going to earn it thing. No matter who it was.
Yeah. Now you need to start thinking about best man first. You need to put Baltimore on the bench when Slade comes back.
Me and Wyatt about to get a little surprise from Benny. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Y'all about to get in. Hell,
thanks, Benny. Then, appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir. And then Rod says, why didn't y'all blitz Drew Lock?
That's another topic. Is like, why are we not only blitzing, why are we not putting pressure at all? You
need to ask Matt Patricia that because he's better at the stuff that Sean Desai. So ask Matt Patricia. I don't know.
I don't think it's Matt. I don't think it's Matt because if you look at Gannon, you look at Schwartz, I think that's an organizational thing. I honestly do because if you look at them now and where they're at now, they're blitzing like I don't know what. So why all of a sudden when they come to Philadelphia, they're not allowed to blitz? I think that's an organizational thing. Honestly, I don't think that has nothing to do with coaching because we didn't went through a bunch of coaches, and when they came here, they sucked. When they was everywhere else, they were bad. Like Schwartz was bad in Detroit. He come to Philadelphia and we ready to get rid of him because we're not blitzing enough.
Mm-hmm.
And then Benny says Keely played with no fear. So the thing is, I think there's I'd like them in college, but you got to give him time to play.
Starter here.
You got to give him time to play. So. Ringo and Rick should be. So we got Ringo and Ricks, and then we got I always forget his name. The guy that we picked up. This Isaiah. What's Isaiah's last name? Isaiah Rogers. He's another corner that remember we'll have next year. We signed him, but he
Oh,
can't play
yeah,
this year.
from the
He's suspended
Colts.
for the gambling crap.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he'll be here next year. So I think we'll have a much better depth back there next year. So my thing is, at this point in the season, we should be at a point where Ringo, and Ricks are actually seeing the field. They splitting time with the older guys, keeping them fresh. So if you have injuries, you're not out for 3 or 4 weeks. But nobody saw the vision that's actually on the team. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to replicate, and this is personal opinion from what I've seen, what I've heard press conferences on, is we want to replicate what happened last year, where we got a bunch of pressure. We were able to get sacks with 4 and 5 man fronts, and then bringing in Reddick off the edge. But the problem is we don't have the same depth, so guys can't be as explosive for short periods of time because they have to play much more minutes. And even though he did play guys at corner, I still didn't see a lot of Nolan Smith. What's up, Matty P?
Yeah, I mean, he got
Because
hurt.
what I'm gonna do,
There's a
what I'm
second
gonna do
half.
is but even in the first half,
Yeah.
we didn't see a lot of him. Matty P, I'm gonna do the same thing everybody did to Sean Desai. Why ain't we seeing more Nolan Smith? Why ain't we blitzing more? I want the questions answered. If it's the organization, somebody needs to step up and say it. If it's not the organization, if it's the guys, if it's maybe silly Nicky, then somebody needs to step up and say it. But whatever the problem is, it needs to be fixed. But we're gonna move on here because I want to make sure we have some time to go into this properly at the end. So this one, you can go several different ways. Weakest link. I'm going to start it off. The weakest link is Joshua Jobe. I saw him on the field. You stink.
I was gonna mention that when you were talking about cornerbacks. I was like, we still have Josh Jobe out here on the field. Dude's buns, man.
The whole damn team for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna go with just Nick. I was gonna go to Nick Sirianni on this one.
The whole damn team for me. The whole team was just the weakest link. The whole team.
Yeah.
Fair enough. We ain't got no topic for this. But here's the point. Dave, I'm going to start with you. What's wrong with the Eagles and what needs to be fixed? What can be fixed for these last 3 games and hopefully a playoff run?
So what's wrong with the Eagles is the fact that we have no plays. We run no bootlegs. We don't post up A.J. Brown. Jalen Hurts does not read the defense properly. He's not scanning the field properly. We have no creative plays. We still don't use the run game like we're supposed to. As far as the defense goes, we don't blitz enough. We don't get enough pressure on the quarterback. We still have wide. The middle is still open a little bit. And what we should be doing is running the ball down their throats. Down their throats. We should be having creative plays to make sure that we get AJ, Smitty, Goddard, whoever the other tight end is open. Make some creative plays, man. And stop having. Another thing I can't stand is the fact that Jalen is staying in the pocket. If he's staying in the pocket, he's trying to bomb it down the darn field. You don't have to make big plays every freaking throw. You can throw it in the middle. You can do short plays. You can do reverse plays. You can do cross. Y'all don't do none of that. All you want to do is throw it down the field 60 and 70 yards and hope somebody catch the ball. That's not working. Period. I'm tired of seeing Jalen. If he's in the pocket, he'll roll out the pocket way too fast. He's not releasing the ball fast enough. So he's got to release his ball fast enough. He's got to be able to lead his receivers open and not just throw the ball in the air in double coverage and hope that they catch the ball, because that's what he's doing. He's still running the ball way too much. So basically, if nobody's open and they're not running the ball, he'll tuck the ball and run. Okay, boy, you about to get toe up. You done got hit so many times. I'm surprised you ain't been knocked out yet. I don't understand. I don't get that. Really, all we need to do is run the ball and scheme our players open and stop having him stare down the players so they'll know exactly where he's going to go with the ball. He just be staring them down. What happened to trick plays? I don't see no trick plays nowhere. That's what we could do to win a game. And the defense definitely needs to get pressure on the quarterback, because it ain't no way that Luck should have sat back there and been able to throw and read. He had a whole Tom Brady time besides the few sacks that I think Jalen Carter got, Nolan Smith got one, Hassan Reddick got one. But other than that, he had all day and night in the pocket. Boy is a backup. Like, we couldn't even beat. You mean to tell me we couldn't beat them, but Dallas did? Like, make it make sense. It's simple. It's fundamental football that y'all don't know nothing about fundamentals. Nothing. Go back to fundamental football and you'll win a game. That's how we can win.
What?
It's hard to say it any better than what Diva just said. I mean, that just to add on to everything that she already said is just like, it seems like everything that they're doing all the time that we're seeing that's not working, they continue to run. And then the few plays that are working, they decide not to use going forward. Like the one like the one slant to AJ Brown that got him like 15 yards. We didn't see that play at all the rest of the game. But yet you run these screens where you have Devontae Smith trying to block for Dallas Goedert or AJ Brown, which are Devontae shouldn't even be out here blocking for anybody when you're on screen passes at all. Like if he's going to block, have him just blocking on a deep pass or someone if you're able to get a deep pass. But you're not able to scheme any of these guys open to have a deep pass. And that's exactly what you were saying. We are trying to force explosive plays. And we've known this since Nick was hired, how he loves his explosive plays. That's how his offense should be run, where it's like you can't force that kind of thing. You need to run the ball to soften up the defense. That way you can open up those explosive plays, but you're not even running the ball effectively to do that. I mean, luckily you have Swift, who's able to get you some decent yardage. Kenny Gainwell did have a couple decent runs in this game, but then you didn't stick to it. You started going right back to the screen game or the QB runs. We actually had a couple different like RPO setups that we were able to run effectively, but we're not getting enough of that. We should be like almost exclusively running out of RPO. We shouldn't be running in single set shotgun or anything out of shotgun at all. That's just not the offense that Jalen Hurts should be running for his type of play style. And especially to keep the defenses guessing, you need to have that threat of the run pass option. And we just decided not to do that. I feel like it feels like Nick Sirianni is purposely trying to go away from everything we did last year to kind of separate himself from Shane Steichen in a way. That's what it kind of seems like. He doesn't want to utilize everything Steichen did that actually made the team great. He wants to utilize his style to make himself look good. And his style of offense is what's best for this team. And it's certainly not. And the players don't think so as well. But I think exactly what you said, Diva, this is exactly what we need to do going forward is just take a look at last year. Run RPOs, like get scheme some of these guys open. You're not having any of those plays where you have multiple players like crossing to kind of confuse the defense or just kind of maybe shed one of those defensive guys that are coming, one of the corners that are coming after him. You're not getting creative at all doing these types of things. It just seems like you're running sticks, maybe a slight slant, and then you're just an all out like Hail Mary type thing. And then you have like the same AJ Brown play you run every single time where he just goes to the outside, like towards the numbers. And it's the same play. You just switch what side of the field it's on and you run it like 7 different times a game. And it doesn't work. Maybe it works once and then you force it 5 other times and it never works. And then you come out and say, oh yeah, we were just looking to draw a flag. It's like, well, you can't just lean on the refs to win games. You like, look at the perfect example. I'm not saying Jalen Hurts is Tom Brady, but Tom Brady made a whole career and won Super Bowls off of taking what the defense would give them. And we're not even giving Jalen Hurts the opportunity to do that because we're not scheming anybody open up close. I understand you want to take that deep shot, but you should have 2 or 3 other options that are, a little closer that he can use, but he doesn't have any of those options whatsoever. And I mean, as the defense, give Matt Patricia full control if you're going to make him defensive coordinator. I understand it's late in the season. You can't install a whole new game plan, but let him coach exactly the way he wants to coach. If he wants to change stuff up, let him change stuff up. Don't be using Desai's plan because it doesn't make any sense to have one defensive coordinator run another guy's system. Similar to what Brian Johnson is doing with Nick Sirianni, we should be running Brian Johnson's offense, not Nick Sirianni's. It just doesn't make any sense. And it just feels like nobody knows what to do. There's no cohesiveness at all. And the longer this goes and the longer the losing streak goes, it's going to get worse. And players are just going to start revolting at that point. I mean, we haven't seen Jalen Hurts break, but that one comment in the press conference is certainly a sign that he's not comfortable with what's going on right now. So I mean, there's a lot to fix. I don't know if it can be fixed in the next couple weeks, though. There's way too much turmoil in that locker room to try to fix it up. I know they say winning heals everything. I don't know if with maybe 2 wins against the Giants is going to heal anything for us, especially when you have to go in and play possibly against the Cowboys or the 49ers in the playoffs. You know, I don't know. It doesn't look good. And I hate to say that because I always like to stay positive. But at this point, Nick Sirianni's press conference today made everything worse.
So a couple of things. Go over these comments here first. So Rod says Blankenship was looking like Jim Leonard, laugh out loud. He also says, I'm tired of seeing Gainwell and using screens with Swift. That's about the only time they actually want to give him the balls on the screen until this past week. Benny says when they did one trick play this season, it came from the special teams. Yep.
Yeah.
And we still lost.
I remember like there was 2 or 3 times throughout this season where we actually had Swift kind of like run out and then run inwards. And we threw the ball to him over the line of scrimmage. But we haven't done that since. We've only done it like 3 times. And I believe he got like over 10 yards running, like as soon as he got like yards after catch after that. We haven't seen those types of plays at all. We've just seen screens with him.
Key says, I'm in the building. What up, Key?
What up, Key?
She says, what's up, guys? She also says, my man Jaden looks defeated.
He does.
And then Benny says, Nick is trying to be like Bruce Arians.
Bruce Arians knows how to coach, though.
So, the problems that we have, obviously play calling is a huge problem. Leadership seems to be a huge problem. Respect for each other in the locker room seems to be a huge problem. Focusing on and executing what you've been given, no matter how good or bad it is, seems to have become a problem. Because, again, we talked about this from week 2, 3, 4, 5, all through. We're running the same things. We're not running the ball enough most weeks. These are not new issues, but the execution's changed. The players aren't doing what they were doing weeks ago. So that's one piece of it. To demote pretty much your defensive coordinator and basically say he has input, I don't believe that. He didn't have no input. If he had input, he'd still be helping call plays. You took him off the field and you put him in a booth. You know what that tells me? One or two things. Either he's trying to get dudes to do what they're supposed to do. The rest of y'all are just trying to be buddy and hang out. So he had to be exercised because he over here trying to get people to do the right thing, yelling at people and all those things. And that's not what y'all want in the locker room. Or B, he was the weakest one. And I've heard the dude's press conferences. I don't believe he was the weakest one.
Yeah,
so I think he was the one
saying he was lacking confidence. Yeah. And then like people saw that and it's like,
that's hogwash and that's poppycock. All you had to do was watch his press conferences and watch him on the sidelines. To me, he was digging in people. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like my boy Nicky Tight Pants, when it comes down to it, he just wants to be one of the fellas and have a good time. 1% better every week, guys. Yeah. But then when the hard times come, you're not prepared. What we can do to fix it? Run the ball more. I'm going to need my quarterback. I don't know what you're being told, but I'm going to need you on your own. Because at this point, piss on the coaches. You on your own to go look at your film from last year. Figure out what you was doing that was working. Get with your wide receivers. Get with your line. Get with your running backs and figure that thing out. Because this is y'all team at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? This is another year of y'all NFL career. Whether you're a rookie, whether this might be your last year in the league. Y'all are the guys that make this go. You have audibles, Jalen. Use them, bro. Use them as much as you want. Audible into the run. Halfback traps, halfback dives, halfback tosses. All those things can be used. You know, I haven't seen a tight end post in like 8 weeks. I haven't seen a halfback go all season. You know, when I look even on Madden, right? Even on Madden, when you play Madden and you run quick slants, you run like 3 quick slants. When we run a quick slant, it's 1 quick slant and 2 guys going deep. And for the love of everything holy, stop throwing the ball to Quez Watkins. They asked this dude, they pointed out the last 6 times you threw the ball to him and how they were all unsuccessful. You know what this fool Nick Sirianni says? You want to know what this idiot says?
Talking about that
You want to know what this borderline special bus rider said? Oh, he's got speed, and we like his speed, and his speed helps, to open up the field. Nobody respects Quez Watkins. All you have to do is put a dummy from the other team that's fast and have him run with Quez Watkins. Because if the ball comes to Quez Watkins, he's not going to fight for it. He's not going to care if he gets intercepted. And he has no heart. That's the kind of goals that you want to have faith in and believe in. That's why you need to be fired.
Yeah.
And everybody keep talking about it was a pass interference. It might have been, but that boy still should have caught that ball. That's no excuse.
Or tried to do something.
He didn't do
You
nothing.
Tried to play defense.
You didn't try to
or
stop
something.
the other team from catching the ball. You just like you a little punk twig.
Exactly what
And then
Keith said.
Hurts-
OZ all day. Like he's done more
Jalen
this
Hurts.
season than Quez has ever done.
Why Jalen Hurts? Why are you throwing the ball to Quez Watkins? That's on you. I'm sorry. That's on you. I don't care if every other read was gone. You pull the ball down and run any other time, but then you're going to throw the ball to Quez Watkins.
I'd rather
Nick
see
Sirianni,
80-year-old
Brian
Julio
Johnson.
out here than Quez Watkins.
Why is he on the field instead of Olamide Zacchaeus? Zacchaeus makes plays. Zacchaeus makes catches.
We've seen it. Multiple touchdowns this season.
But instead of putting him out there, you want to put this chump who can't catch the ball because he's fast. All he is fast and trash. He's trash fast, and that's what you like because you're a trash person. You don't know talent, and you're an idiot.
Because Nick said we've hit that play before, but we hit it with Zacchaeus, not with Quez. Dummy, wrong player.
Yeah.
Because Quez sucks, and Nick sucks. And Brian Johnson, if you have anything to do with the personnel on the field, and you're putting Quez Watkins out there, you suck too.
Mm-hmm. It's that favoritism stuff that we've been rolling through with this organization for a long time. They like to play favorites.
We don't want to see Nelson Aguilar 2.0
They're not interested
or
in putting
Jalen
the best
Reagor.
players out there.
We already seen him. He out there not catching the ball. So Keith says they need to have a come to Jesus meeting. I was gonna get there, but I agree. I was taking the long route around, Keith.
Well, Jesus need to go beat Nick Sirianni.
That's what I was gonna say. Jesus need to come to them
right now.
Let them know what's going on.
And then Keith says all the players need to say what they want to say. He's our MVS laugh all out, and then OZ all day. So here's the thing. I understand things are bad. I understand that it's frustrating. But all this stuff that y'all coming out and saying in the media, do you know what's happening with this stuff? All these other teams are laughing at you. All these other players are losing respect for all of y'all that's running your mouth. Instead of coming out in the media and saying it, where it's not going to do anything but make it worse, how about you call a players meeting? How about you go in the meeting and line them coaches up front and cuss them all out? So that's what really need to happen.
Well, that was supposed to be what happened last week, and it didn't put no flame or no fire under nobody.
It didn't happen because who gonna lead the meeting? Jalen Hurts.
Let AJ tell it. They all had something to say. He was gonna keep it in the locker room or keep it where it was at. But sure ain't like no fire burning nobody.
He ain't keeping it in the locker room a week later. Y'all got to be real honest. This is the main part of what needs to do for success. Y'all got to be real honest with each other. Jalen, you playing soft. AJ, you playing like a hoe sometimes. You letting these people get in your head, and you're not being the same guy. And they know all this got to do, and it takes away from you. Devontae, you got to hold on to the ball at all costs. If you can't hold on to the ball, you can't be an NFL receiver. You know what I'm saying? Offensive line, you got to be better. Jason Kelsey, you know you can't be sliding the ball up, bro. You've been around too long for that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Coaching, y'all suck. What you're doing is trash. You need to do better. If you can't do better, we're going to start calling our own stuff. You want to rebel in the play caller. Don't rebel in the media.
Yeah.
That's not, all you're doing is making other teams like the 49ers and the Cowboys and the Lions go,
yeah,
they lose a few games and they fall apart. Have some
We shouldn't be talking away about a 10-win team at this point. We shouldn't be talking this way. This is embarrassing. And then you had a video of them doing the ball security drill with Jalen, where he's just falling on his face, had to hold on the ball. You look like an embarrassment. How does this team?
What was
it makes
that?
the team look soft.
What was
out here.
that?
It doesn't make any sense. And
The
then,
team
But
is
then he
always
still-
soft.
the only thing that's different is you use one extra practice instead of the walkthrough days on Wednesdays. You made it one extra practice. That's your whole plan to help fix the offense. Is just a one extra day
The
of
practices
practice.
we're doing clearly sucks.
Yeah,
The practices we're doing clearly sucks.
You
So that
worked
needs to
on
be
ball
fixed.
security, but you ain't work on making sure that boy didn't throw no freaking interception. He got the most interceptions in the NFL over Dak, and we know Dak is apple turnover all day. But now Jalen is above Dak because y'all
Yeah.
don't work on making sure that he's throwing that ball where it should be because he's either
Well,
overthrowing
also-
it or underthrowing.
Well, also he makes bad decisions with the ball
He
because
does
the
do
ball he
that.
threw to Quez was a perfect ball, but Quez got pushed out of the way because he's soft. AJ Brown had another ball that it didn't go off his fingertips, but week 9, week 8, week 7, AJ would have got that ball, but he didn't. He's uninterested. He's not the same player that he was, so we're not seeing the same thing from him.
yeah.
So AJ Brown's our number one receiver. If we can't get his mind in the game, we're in trouble. Practices need to be pads. Practices need to be hitting. Practices need to be serious. Practices need to be long. Maybe you need 2 a days. Maybe everybody need to go home too tired to be petty and too tired to do all this foolishness. We are at the end of the season, 3 weeks left, and we're talking about what can the Eagles do to fix problems that we have. So I'm gonna put it like this: the last 3 weeks of the season, I do expect us to play really well. I do expect us to win all 3 of those games, but that doesn't mean anything because we play the Giants twice, and then we play the Cardinals once in the middle of that. So winning these 3 games are now necessary because point blank, the 49ers are going to be the number 1 seed. We're either going to be number 2 or number 5. We know the way the playoffs work. Whoever, if you're the 5, you're going to play whoever wins the AFC South. That's pretty much a bye because they suck. I mean, the NFC South, they suck. They are horrid. That whole division is doo-doo juice trash. But it's still a game. And we've lost the teams that are bad.
Mm-hmm. We just did.
But we shouldn't even be here. We had clinched it a few weeks ago and turned around and lost it that fast.
Well, we didn't clinch nothing. We didn't clinch
Would've
nothing
been number
because
1
at the
seed.
end of the day. Yeah, but honestly, I didn't expect us to win more than 13 games this year. And we win his last 3. We're 13-4. So we win his last 3. We're exactly where I expected us to be after the season.
Yeah, you hope we win these last 3.
Unfortunately, the 49ers only lost 3 games this season. So by my prediction, they were going to be number 1 unless they lose more games. And you know what the other game they should have lost was the game against the Philadelphia Eagles. But guess what?
Yeah. You have to hope the
We know what
Ravens
happened
can
there.
possibly beat them, and then you have to win
It
out
doesn't-
to try to get
but
the
why?
number 1 seed.
But why? We still can't get the number 1. We're not going to get the number 1 seed, bro. We're not. Even if we win this last 3 games and they lose,
I believe
they
you.
won this week. They won this week. They didn't lose. So we got to win all these 3, and they got to lose against them and another team for us to have a chance. It's not going to happen. They'll probably lose to Baltimore, but it's not going to help us. It's not going to help the Cowboys because neither one of us know how to win and keep pace
When it matters.
when it matters.
Yeah.
The Cowboys got to play the Dolphins. They're probably going to lose this week. This is going to be the Dolphins' first over 500 win. That ain't going to help us much either if we can't go out there and take care of business against the Giants. And there's no guarantee
True.
that that'll happen.
Facts.
Ain't no guarantee that that's going to happen. All right, we got a few comments, y'all. So everyone at the meeting but special teams laugh out loud. Facts.
Ain't that
the
ain't that some
players-
shit?
But the players that play other things besides special teams, your ass is in the front row. All right.
The
and
one
then
thing we wanted
they
to
look
like we hated about the team last year, and that's the one thing we can't complain about this year.
because everything else is so bad. They look like rejects up downs. Pretty much. Practice how you play. Benny says Quez is soft like white cloud
Facts.
toilet paper.
Dude should
Baby's
be put on the
bottom.
practice squad or cut.
Angel soft lavender, all those things.
Charmin. That boy
Charmin.
Charmin.
extra Charmin, extra soft, all that.
Extra soft.
Wrap together. And then Key says I had us at 12-5.
Yeah.
So
I had us 12-5 too. Just I didn't have it doing it like this. Thought it was gonna be some good teams. Those losses.
The thing is, the losses themselves is not what concerns me, because 4 losses is still a great season.
It's how you
It's-
keep losing.
But the team itself,
It's how
the
you're losing
organization's
the
crumbling.
games. It's how you lose the games, right? We go out, we beat Seattle, right? Then everybody's hunky dory this week. Most people, not us, but most people, right? But it still doesn't fix the problem. We're not going to face a Seattle probably in the playoffs, right? Because we're going to be the 2 or the 5. If we're the 2, we're going to play number 7. If we're 5, we're playing number 4. And if we're playing number 4, then depending on what happens in the other games is who we play. So if we're 5 and everybody wins besides us that should win, right? That would put us in a position where we'd probably be playing the 49ers in the second round. Because if 5 is the lowest seed left, they would play 1. It would take somebody under us, the 6 or the 7, to actually win for us not to play the 49ers in the second round for the 5th seed.
Mm-hmm.
That's not where you want to be. But besides all that, we still got playoffs coming up. We've got to find a way to figure this thing out. We got to find a way to turn this around. The problem is the head coach. His voice is what's screwing everything up, in my opinion. If you know that something's messing everything up, sometimes you got to tune it out. And I know that that's not the easiest thing to do. But you can call audibles and you can go out there, you can play football. You've been playing football for years before you got this idiot as a head coach. So do what you need to do. Coordinators, call the plays like it is. If he's going to get ready at the end of the year, oh well. Brian Johnson, you know how to call plays. You call better plays than this. It's time for you to step up and say, yo, Nick, this ain't working, bro. I got to bring in some of my plays. We got to do some things differently. We got to get Jalen in a good place. You and Jalen supposed to be peoples. And you got that man out there looking like that. He crushed. He looking sad out there. You got him cracking. He ain't got his normal facade on. He up there like he about to cry after the game.
He looks sad. He's broken.
Well, sometimes, like I said, man, some of the stuff I don't feel bad for the people because you had an opportunity to say, yo, we need to do something different, and you don't. And if you're going to sit there and continue to play and let this crap happen to you, I'm not going to feel bad for you.
Not
because
when
you
you
can
have
say nah.
a high football IQ. He's had that since he was in school, like middle school. So
His
your
dad's a
IQ,
freaking high school coach.
right?
You know
So
how
you're
to play
smart enough.
football.
Right. They can't get rid of you. They already paid you.
Different formations.
Yeah.
I form big, big goal line, jumbo packages. Why are we using none of these things? I've been saying this for weeks. These are the things you do. Run the ball 30 plus times a game without Jalen. If he throws in he peppers in 5 good runs, cool. He had some good runs Monday night.
Yeah. But he's still
He didn't
trying
run
to
the
be your
ball
top
too much.
carrier.
But he's always a top carrier because she's always giving him more runs than he really needs.
Mm-hmm.
Hand the ball off. But you won't do any formation but shotgun. It's ridiculous. Put your team in a position to win. If you got to shut up Nick and let Brian Johnson do his thing for the last 3 weeks and see how it goes, why not?
Put Nick in the box.
You did it with Matt.
Nothing else to lose.
Did it with Matt. Put Nick
in the box. And don't
Take
give him
Nick's
a mic.
mouth, tie him up, and throw him under a bench and put like 3 75-pound weights on top until the game's over. Mm-hmm. Oh, and don't think I'm done. There's one other person that deserves a whole heck of a lot of blame for everything that's happening right now. And that's one Howard Roseman. Because you did a lot for the offense. You made some moves to help the defense. But where's the linebacker help? Why is Kaiser White not still a Philadelphia Eagle?
Mm-hmm.
Because you didn't want to pay him. But you want to pay these other dudes.
Why don't we go get Sue? Now he going to actually got to visit with Miami tomorrow.
We don't want no more line help. Or you know what? Sue might have said, "Y'all suck. I ain't coming there no more."
No, he said he wanted to come.
Right, a couple of weeks ago, before we start stanking up everything. He's a free agent. He go where he want to go. Howie, this offseason, I expect you to get us some talent for that defense.
Oh. No, I think that's all then.
Uh-oh. I agree with you, though. I mean, it's definitely showing how unprepared this defense was as far as depth. I mean, we thought we were going to be good, but I mean, Nakobe didn't play nearly as well as what we thought how he was going to play. We had no backup plan for Avonte Maddox, who apparently they're saying his 21-day practice window is going to be opening up here shortly. I haven't heard any word on that since that report came out, so I'm not sure when that's going to happen. Probably closer to playoffs.
Yes, from what I heard, they opened it this week, so it is open.
Okay, but yeah, I mean, there's just no plan. They relied on a lot of young talent, and some of it didn't plan out, and a lot more injuries happened than they expected. And also, we didn't expect Slay and Bradbury to regress this bad either.
Really didn't
More
expect
so
Bradbury to regress. Slay, he
more so
got
Bradbury.
a little excuse, but Bradbury, Ballberry, no. And then we really didn't pick up anybody to replace CJ Like we got Blankenship, but Blankenship don't have no backup when he's hurt.
Yeah,
we got somebody, but we're not using him. Sidney Brown is right there. That's who should be playing that role, but we're not using him like we should. He was a slot corner in college, safety as well, knows how to play both of those positions. You could drop him back deep. We don't have anybody deep this year. Last year, a lot of times we had over-the-top coverage because we knew that these guys were getting older and slower. We're also putting guys that are older and slower out in the field more and asking them to do more than we asked them to do last year. And we're wondering why it's not working.
Yeah, I looked it up. We signed Bradbury to a 3-year deal and Slay to a 2-year this all season.
Mm-hmm.
So if they want to move on, we're going to be eating some money unless they did some sort of trade of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
Or they retire, you know.
Well, see, we don't need to move on. We need to get the young guys involved so that they're not playing as much. The problem is you're overplaying them.
True.
You brought in guys to be the future. The future needs practice. They need reps, game time reps.
True. And your defensive line isn't getting nearly enough pressure to help the back end out either.
Nope.
Right. Because last year we got the same pressure with the front four because guys had reps. Guys were able to play until they started getting winded, go sit down, get their wind back, come back in. We're not doing that anymore because Howie didn't bring us the depth that we needed.
Facts.
So these are things. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot of people to blame for where we're at right now. But I'm gonna say this: y'all better tighten up. Y'all better tighten your bootstraps, get your chin straps up, and get ready. Because I'm telling you right now, it's been a tough season. A lot of things ain't been happening right. We still expect to win a Super Bowl. You know why we still expect to win a Super Bowl? Because you say you want to be better than last year, and that's the only way we can be. If y'all don't figure out a way to change this thing around, man, it's gonna be ugly. And Nick, you're gonna see how fast the Eagles fan base, and especially the Philadelphia part of the Eagles fan base, turn on your ass real quick.
Oh yeah, and you think it's bad now? Wait until if you lose 2 of these games out of these 3, and then have a terrible showing in the playoffs, oof, it's gonna be ugly.
Nick need to stick what he know how to do is keep the locker room together.
He don't seem to be doing a good job of that either.
Well, he ain't doing it now because he trying to do too much. When we had Steichen, that's all he know how to do was keep the locker room together as a team, and Steichen called the plays. But now he trying to do everything, and they like, nah, bro.
Yeah.
So, any thoughts, guys, on the Seattle Seahawks game from this past week? I'll give you my thoughts first. We sucked. Jalen Hurts throws too many picks. I'm sick of seeing the same crap. McCaffrey, Manning, everybody was able to call plays. The stupid coach talking about, that was just one play, and Christian McCaffrey is a really smart guy. That's why he was able to do that. Everybody knows what you're doing, idiot, except for you.
Yeah, facts. We look terrible. Easily should have won this game, hands down, by at least 2 touchdowns. That last touchdown that Drew Lock threw shouldn't even have mattered.
No, because if we would have scored on the last drive instead of turning the ball over and having Jalen run all around in the pocket and going further back down the field instead of forward, we probably would have been in. We wouldn't have been in this situation because we would have scored. But no, we couldn't even do that. We gonna
Nah.
go ahead and kick it and wait and hope that the defense can stop him. And what happened? Nope. I'm trashing this week. I don't got nothing else to say about this week because that was
Yeah.
just a pure embarrassment. Like
Straight
we ain't got
embarrassment.
embarrassed 3 weeks in a row, horribly.
Mm-hmm.
He says that soft TP you can't flush, laugh out loud. And then Benny says there's some good young linebackers in next year's draft. Watch we don't get none of them.
I want Jeremiah Trier Jr., Howie.
Hey, this one hurt. This one hurt worse than the Dallas game. Just because, like, this team is inferior. This is a bad team we lost to. And you had plenty of opportunities to come
What
out.
a
We let them
backup.
off the hook.
What
We
a
let them off the
backup.
hook. We knew who they were. Terrible.
He also said Trotter Jr.
Gino,
Yeah.
yeah, all day.
But will Howie do it? Doubt it.
Better go make something happen. I know that.
So I think Wyatt was trying to say this a minute ago.
Or who we thought they were. And that's why we took the damn field. Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were. And we let them off the hook.
Thanks, Coach.
We needed Jalen come out of the presser like that. That's what Jalen should have been saying coming out this game.
That's what
Or
Nick should have been
Sirianni.
saying.
Yeah,
But he's
or
too stupid.
Sirianni out this. Exactly.
He says that Trotter's the safety.
Hey, we need some safety help too. I'll
Yeah, we
bring him
showed
in.
them. Man,
All
listen.
right. So yeah,
Should've never let
we're
Edwards
flushing
walk.
this week.
Yeah,
Well,
we're flushing
Edwards,
this
I don't think he was going to stay, but I think we
'Cause he
should
left
never let
Chicago.
Kaiser White. And I was minded about that when we did it. So I've got one thing to say to put a pin in last week.
That's exactly what we all was thinking. For real. Like, no lie. When old boy caught that touchdown the last couple of minutes, exactly what I said.
As soon as we kicked that ball off, I was like, "We losing this game.
Yep.
This defense
done.
ain't stopping this. We
Soon
cooked.
as he threw that interception, I was like,
Dunzo.
the interception to Watkins, I was like,
Soon as you see, boy, and then as soon as I saw him bomb that thing and we only needed 15 yards, I
are
said,
you
oh, that's
doing?
it. That's it. We done.
Benny says, I can imagine how high y'all blood pressure was watching that game.
Listen.
Keith says, cool, what you burning? I'm not burning anything, Keith.
Like, yeah, Jake able to save your ass a couple times this year, and you just didn't trust him. You didn't want to rely on him again this time.
And Benny says it was high laugh out loud. So the thing is, there's another problem here. I got to talk about this real quick. I know I'm flushing, but I got to talk about this. There is a Superman aspect to Jalen Hurts right now that I don't like.
No.
Stop trying to dominate with these big plays. It's okay to take the check down. It's okay to run and get the first down and get out of bounds. Stop it. You don't have to try to be better than last year. You just need to come in, facilitate the offense, take what you're given, make the right plays, and go home.
But he's not seeing what they're giving him, though, because he's not reading the defense like he was last year. Like, that has regrets. That's why he's not able to take what they're giving him because he can't read it.
Well, if he knew how to read it last year, and I say this about every quarterback, and I'm going to say this about Jalen Hurts too. If you're letting those people around you change your perception of a game you've been know how to read and do all these things for since you were a kid, that's on you, and that says a lot about the heart that you got.
Well, don't like he got much heart no more. That's all I got.
Because you're not gonna take me in no situation where I've been doing things one way and been successful, and then you come and telling me to do something different is not having success. I'm not gonna do it. Because see, what was happening was everybody was comfortable with everything. Everybody on the team side was fine because we were winning games early in the season. But 3 people right here predicted we
That
can't
was
keep
their
doing this.
excuse
We
for
have
not
to get
changing
better.
anything because they were
Yeah.
winning games.
So we're not
was
winning
ugly,
games
but it
now,
was a
and you're
win.
still not. And we're still not going to change anything.
Nope.
So if they're not
Not
going
the way
to
they
change it
said.
at the coaching level, player level, do your thing. You the ones that got to go out here. You the ones that we going to rip. You the ones we going to talk smack about. We're going to talk smack about them, but you're going to get some too. It's people in this team that have the ability to make changes. It's people in this team that should be able to walk into the coach's office and be like, what you're doing sucks, and y'all better change it. Or we're going to start doing what we want to do. If those people
that was
are
part
not
of the
flexing
report
up,
from last week with Byard. They're saying Byard went to like
but
Desai and all that, trying to change shit.
if you're not going to flex up, hey,
You gotta flex up on the field. Period.
Yeah, you need to have
And
veterans out here speaking
fundamental
for you
tackling.
too. That's what they're there for.
Fundamental tackling. You hit a guy in the waist area. You drive him to the ground backwards. You don't throw him forward 3 yards.
Right.
I like the young corners. They didn't play them a lot together, but why not?
Yeah.
And then Key says that would be his yes, Mr. Postman. I'm gonna say it like this: it's up to y'all what happens these last few weeks. Do your thing or not. There's nothing else we can do. We can just talk about what you do. It's gonna be up to you to do it.
Yeah.
And then lastly, of course, got a game versus the Giants. Diva, will start with you. What's your thoughts on the game? Who you think's gonna win? If you want to give a score prediction.
No, I ain't giving no score prediction.
That's right.
You probably see Boston Scott probably on a game. Only 2 games you will see Boston Scott a lot. Maybe see Boston Scott. You might see Gainwell more than Boston Scott. You never know with Nick. You never know. But I mean, we should win, but we should have won the last 3, and you see what happened with that. So I mean, I'm just going in optimistic because the way Nick was talking, I didn't even listen or read anything he said. It was put in our chat. That's the reason why I know. But listening to what he had to say, we probably gonna lose again because he's saying he ain't changing nothing. He don't see nothing wrong with the plays that's being called on the offense. So I doubt if we might see Swift maybe 8 times. I think we saw him 13 times last game. Might get about 8, maybe. I don't know, man. I don't even know no more because I know what we should be doing and what we're good at, but we're not doing that. So we supposed to win this game. We supposed to win the next 3, but you just don't know what you're gonna get out that offense. And then to leave the defense to always be out there trying to save the game and save the day, that ain't gonna work. You have to work cohesively together. So I don't know. I mean, I honestly don't know if we're gonna win it or not. As long as Nick out there and he ain't locked in a box somewhere, oh, we got a chance to lose the next 3. And I'm just being real.
Yeah.
Look, he said she was talking about Sidney Brown as a safety, and then she says
Sidney. Trotter's a linebacker.
She says Florida Evans. You know.
Yeah.
Stu, what up, Stu?
What up, Stu? I mean, we want.
Hey, we was trying to get that to happen when they let him go from there, but Frank might want to say he might not want to deal with it.
That's probably the only person that could come into the building that Nick would listen to when they were saying, "You an idiot. You need to start running this shit more effectively."
He don't want that. He don't let that happen.
Yeah,
he don't let that happen. So I'll give my quick thoughts of the Giants game, wise, and then I'll let you go, bro. So Giants game. Definitely got to utilize Boston Scott. 30 runs. At least 15 should be for DeAndre Swift. 10 should be for Boston Scott. You know, and then 4 or 5 maybe for Mr. Don't really gain well much, but sometimes does gain well. Throw the ball with some accuracy. Also, make sure that you're running hard through the play, hard through the catch. You're turning your hips. You're doing everything to be successful. Defense, fly to the ball. We know Bradbury's getting burned over the top a lot. So why haven't we made an adjustment all season because it was happening to Slay a lot too, of having somebody over the top. A lot of teams do that. Why don't we? We used to do that last year when we were what? More successful at defense. Line, we got to get some pressure. With Nolan Smith, if he can play this week, he needs to see some snaps. I mean, it's not rocket science, but y'all make it seem like it is because y'all make it so hard because the stuff y'all do is so stupid. Let's try to get a win, man. I'm with Diva. I hope the Eagles win, but I mean, how can I be 100% confident about any win, any game with what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing? I got to be real. I can't come up here every week and say, Eagles going to win no matter what. And we out there stinking up. That ain't real. Why? What you got, bro?
Facts, man. Yeah, both of you. I mean, I hate to say it, but you're absolutely correct. I mean, this is the type of game you could easily come out and say we're going to lose. Perfect situation. You have a terrible backup quarterback that's out here getting sacked all the time by all these different teams. That's perfect QB that we're only going to have one sack against, and it's going to throw all over us and run all over us. We've seen it a million times before. There's going to be no surprise if he comes out and does that to us, and we're not going to have any adjustments for it. And it's easy to say, like, of course we want to see the defensive line get, put pressure, get sacks on this quarterback. Tommy DeVito, you're going to be trying to run around all over us. But like, I feel like we're not going to have any game plan, whether you have Matt Patricia in here or Sean Desai. I feel like it's because of the division rival, because they know us, they're going to be able to try to take advantage of us. I mean, I know we beat them 3 times last year. This is a different team from last year, not just the Giants, but the Eagles themselves. We look terrible. So, I mean, nothing's going to surprise me. I feel like it's going to be the same exact offense that comes out from the Seattle game. I feel like it's going to be the same thing, like both of you were saying. We're going to be still seeing the same AJ throws towards the sideline. We're not going to be utilizing the middle of the field nearly as much. Hopefully we run the ball. And we probably going to be using Boston Scott because Nick loves pandering to the Philly fans. And at this point in time, when everybody's mad at him, he's going to try to utilize that. He's going to be using
If you want to pander
Scott.
to us, you better win this mother freaking game. That's what you better do.
Exactly.
Right.
So they're going to try to use Boston Scott. But, I mean, you got to find some consistency. Find a way to get Jalen Hurts comfortable. Because he has not been comfortable these past 3 weeks. I don't care if he was sick or not in the Seattle game. He hasn't been comfortable for weeks.
Right. So Unc says Nick would lose the team immediately, talking about if they were to bring in Frank Wright. And then he says offense, protective football, defense, sit Bradbury on the bench. They're not gonna sit Bradbury because he's one of them guys that Nicky Tight Pants loves. And when Nicky Tight Pants loves you, you play no matter, even if you're bad, even if you're playing bad at the time. I think, but Stu, I said earlier, man, I think it still applies. The whole point in going out and getting corners in the draft, bringing in guys on the depth chart, was to give them time to stop these guys from being on the field so much. You remember last year, we used to kind of rotate through the corners a little bit, right? Guys didn't have to play the whole game. Defensive line, guys didn't have to play the whole game. Linebackers shouldn't get to play the whole game. So says Swift should get at least 20 carries. We got to take baby steps. You know what I'm saying? He should get 25 carries a game.
Too, is because we were always up by like 14 points too, going in the second half or whatever. We were able to put up points in that first half to kind of let the defense breathe or sit some guys throughout the back half of the games. And we can't do that. We have the defense on the field more than anybody.
Except for the Jets. Oh boy, man, we just gotta be better, man. Like, I mean, there's a whole bunch of things I could say, right? We go on for 3-4 hours about what we should do.
Mm-hmm.
But what, if anything, will we do? The best thing I could think is run the ball, rotate through on the defensive backs. Because I mean, honestly, that's a lot of running, a lot of shift, a lot of moving. It costs a lot to be an NFL cornerback. So that's why depth is important. You know what I'm saying? We got to get guys off the field. But a big part of this is the offense has got to do something. Remember this. All 4 of the games that we've lost, we scored less than 20 points. So that's Sean Desai's fault. It's not Sean Desai's fault. I don't care if you replace Sean Desai or not. But don't try to make him the scapegoat when it was not his fault.
Mm-hmm.
He was given orders to prepare defense that ran bend, don't break, soft zones, and the things that we're doing. And those worked some last year because we were up, so teams had to pass. So we had them in a situation where we made them pretty much one-dimensional. We're not doing that this year. But we're still expecting this defense to play the same way. And the defense was balling for a minute. It was holding down for the offense. But anytime you do that to a defense at a certain point, it's going to break. This defense broke. Now the offense got to take its turn. But when you turn to the offense and expect the offense to look out, it's not happening. We're not getting sevens on the board. We're not getting aggressive. We're not confusing the other team. We're just doing the same old spit and thinking that it's going to be different. You come out and do the same crap again next week, piss on you, Nick Sirianni, and let that pitch run down to all your coaching staff. I'm sick of this. We shouldn't have to deal with this. We deserve better. Y'all better doggone give us better. Key says run the dang ball. No home run throws unless they're open and no turnovers.
Please.
I'll be honest with y'all, man. I don't even think them cats know how to not turn the ball over. Like, I've been watching this team, like, they don't even really, like, focus on ball security mentally. Like, I saw AJ last game really putting them two hands on the ball when the guys get close. But I don't feel like as a team they really focus on ball security. And that's why people are always swatting them because they've seen things from the earlier games.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay to go back to the basics, man. It's okay to catch the ball, secure it, and then run. It's okay, Jalen.
I want to do those drills inside,
make
so
a decision,
can't see you, though,
and throw it. Instead of doing those drills, figure out something else because those drills suck.
I don't want to see Jalen
not going to help
falling on his face.
That suck. Now, I got a couple things that I want to say here because I just need to. First of all, Nick Sirianni. You keep playing or having these guys play the way they're playing there, and this is what you're going to hear.
And if you're not done with that, Philly's got 2 words for you.
And I'm ready to tell you that now. This is an important one from last year. I want you to hear this one also, Mr. Tight Pants yourself.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
We need to be cream. And throughout the entirety of Nick Sirianni's conference, this is all that was going on in my mind.
Tell me he didn't just say that.
And whenever he comes down and tries to tell BJ anything, this is what BJ needs to do to him.
What is your name? I told you it doesn't matter what your name is.
And then there's one more thing. When Nick says, hey, Brian, we need to use my playbook, and I think we need to run this play.
You know your damn role and shut your damn mouth.
And that's how silly should be looking. And New York Giants got 2 words for you.
Let's hope so. Don't ruin my Christmas, Eagles, please.
You're next. The problem is what we're going to do with this next. They are next.
Yeah, exactly.
Any last words before we get up out of here, y'all?
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
We ain't been flying, so I can't say fly Eagles fly. We've been a dead bird the last
Most
3 weeks all
dejected
week, bro.
Go Birds I could ever muster. Just go Birds. I guess.
That's it.
So I'm still going to say fly, Eagles, fly. Now, after all the things we talked about today, we go out and get some wins, we feel better. You know what I'm saying? Don't matter who it is, we got to get some wins, we're going to feel better. Get some momentum going into the playoffs. We had a downtime a little later than we liked in the season. Just touch scratch, we wrong. And these were all games that we felt were losable. We won those first two. So then we was like, oh, now we won the first two. That's what's up. But the back half didn't work out too well, either of the three. So you got to pick up and you got to move forward. Are y'all going to do this or are y'all going to choke? We're going to find out Sunday. That's all I got to say about that. No intro today because I was mad. I'm going to get an outro, though. We'll be back next week. Make sure you share this. Make sure you like it. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you subscribe if you haven't. Appreciate everybody that tuned in. I know a lot of y'all going to watch this later. We ain't do too bad, but we was going to get on them boys because they know better than that.